some of the stuff I did, I don't know why people laughed. Because it weren't even funny, but at the time it was.
Yeah.
It is.
She was that girl that used to make everybody laugh.
But you needed that
anymore.
But you need that in class, don't you? Because it's so boring. But
Class
parents'
down.
evening. How nervous, no matter how good you thought you was, did you get in the parents' evening when you sat there in front of your teacher, your parent or whatever, sitting there sweating like a good and thinking, please, 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 please just say nice things, just please say nice things. And at the end, if you got a good report, you got like chips on the way home or some sweets or something good. It's just the relief at the end of parents' evening was. Did you have parents' evening, Lou?
Yeah, I used to hate it because they used to speak like I weren't there, and it's so like it's like a bit degrading. But yeah, I never really got a bad one, did I? It was all
Never
like
once.
you know, she talks a bit too much. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But didn't the teachers seem so different at parents' evening?
Yeah, they acted like angels.
Who remembers the first time, or is it just me, that you realised your teacher had a name, not just a Miss whatever? They had a real name. You're like, wow. It was the weirdest thing when you knew that Miss Wood was called Kelly. You're like,
Yeah.
what? You got a real name?
Did you ever fancy a teacher?
Yeah, Miss Wood. Miss Wood.
How quick did he answer then?
She was lovely.
She was lovely.
She was only in her 20s when we were like 15 or whatever. She's from Sheffield, and yeah, everybody fancied Miss Woods.
Did you fancy a teacher, Lucy?
I can't say. For the benefit of the team.
But which one?
I had one history teacher and he left before I finished school, and I was very sad.
Oh my God, Mr. McGrath!
Mom! Oh my God, I was in love with him.
He was very good looking.
He definitely didn't like me back, but...
And the mum what about the mum fancying the teacher?
That's why I went to parents' evening.
Did you also fancy him too?
No, I just remember you liking him to me. You just reminded me.
I know you used to like Mr. Taylor. Do you remember in year 11?
Lucy.
Ah, hello.
I have a picture with him.
Did you?
Now, this has taken a whole different turn on the school.
No, but I do remember at high school, all of the boys fancying our English teacher, Mrs. Shepherd. And she was hot. She was blonde, young, and the rest of them were all old and...
Yeah, fat.
They probably weren't old. They probably weren't, though. You know, as you
40.
get older... Yeah.
And you just thought they were really old.
Yeah, you thought they were ancient, but...
If anyone like remotely good looking is a teacher though, it's like they're the most amazing person in the world. But
yeah.
if you seen them outside of school, you wouldn't glance.
Definitely.
So imagine this, right? We went to an all-boys school, but in sixth form we had girls. And
you were like dogs on heat wave.
Well, we had this 1,300 like teenagers going,
girl.
Yeah, hello. I feel sorry for them really. So as we go through school, we've been through the primary school into the secondary school. We find our way, and we're a little bit naughty, and we're doing detentions, and we're becoming young adults now, aren't we? What about towards the end of school when you were going to leave? It's your last year. What did you sign each other's shirts?
We did that in primary as well. Yeah.
What about if anybody had a plaster cast? They broke their arm. Everybody signed it.
Definitely. Got to put a bit of graffiti on there, yeah.
Got to put the rude thing.
Yeah.
From a boys, you just call them...
I bet you were all drawing penises on them, weren't you?
No, you just call them W anchors, and
Yeah.
and they can't get it off, can they?
Standard.
For whatever reason, they always broke their arm that they write with. So they could never ever...
Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So, but last day of school, come on then. Last day of school, it's coming up to the end of your time. You're a young adult going into the big wide or going into further education. So for me, I remember thinking... it's going to be great, but also I genuinely remember thinking, I'm going to miss this place. It's been a part of my life for the best part of like 5 years, and I went on a couple of trips. I went skiing, I went away to school, and I learned a lot. It sounds obvious, but you do learn, you do grow up at school, and I think I'm going to miss it. What's it going to be like? But the pandemonium at the end, it was just crazy. I don't know if it's
could not be more different, Rob, because I could not wait to get out of school. I could not wait. I do remember though, I'm 42 now, and being 16, going to the red phone box, phoning my mum, saying, when we picked up those GCSE results and telling her what I had got, that feels like yesterday. Absolutely yesterday, and it just time has flown, but yeah, I couldn't wait to finish school.
Lou, what was your...
It was really emotional.
Mm-hmm. We went together, didn't we, to collect your results?
It was quite sad, but you want to get on with your life, don't you? I was excited too.
It's a weird one, isn't it, getting the results, because you're really concerned about what you get or don't get at the time, but also you're surrounded by others, and it is a little competition there. So there's a real awakening that, geez, I didn't do very well actually, I did better than him. But did you ever have that one kid that you thought was really maybe thick and they got a few better grades and you're like, oh no. Or you're just relieved to do it. It's a weird one at the end of school, because there is that decision, what you're going to do after.
Yeah, what's next. And some people got plans, some are not. And I know that some people were lost. I was a little bit lost because I wanted to be a sports journalist, like to get the right grades, and maybe I weren't going to go into it. But it's a weird one because you spend so much of that time there, growing up, going through adolescence, going through all the changes of your body, your personality, your home life, becoming a young adult. All of a sudden, it's just different, isn't it? Well, yeah, the weirdest thing for me is being 16 and having to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I'm 42. I don't know that yet. Yeah. Like, how would I know?
Careers
at 16?
advisor. Did you have a careers advisor?
Yeah, but she was useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of all the subjects, so what's your worst subject, Lou? Go on. What's your worst subject, or most awkward subject at school?
As much as I fancied Mr. McGrath, I failed history, didn't I? So that
but you took it as an option, didn't you?
Yeah,
so
I enjoyed it.
You were good at it.
I enjoyed it, but clearly not enough because I failed. But that was the only one I failed. It was really quite awkward because my best friend at the time, Finn, we was opening our grades and I actually did quite well. And I remember turning around being really, happy, and she was crying.
Oh no.
Yeah, so, but
Did you give her the L sign, like, loser?
You're supposed to, I guess you want to be happy for yourself, but then you want to be empathetic too.
I was like, oh, that's so sad, but look what I got. But, she had, we did the same stuff, me and her too, but the only one I did quite bad in was history, yeah.
What was your best?
Art, definitely.
Yeah.
Art or science, I think.
Yeah, triple science for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sounds so
SWAT.
boring.
What's your most awkward subject or?
Oh, awkward.
Did you have to do RE because you were?
Oh God, RE.
Oh,
RE, yeah, we did.
You do prayers?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I had to go to church a lot. Yeah.
Really?
Awful.
We had to do RE, and I don't mean to any listeners out there, I'm not being disrespectful, but I'm trying to understand Guru Nanak. It just wasn't part of me. And we had, my RE teacher was a guy called Mr. Holdroyd, and he had a glass eye. Again, not to be disrespectful, but if you thought you were getting away with something, but he'd look one way and he'd point and he'd and you're like, oh. And it was the most, it was unnerving.
Yeah.
But I think the weirdest subject for us was sex education, and I know that it sounds obvious, but you've got a classroom full of boys. Everybody's there. And
everyone giggling.
Yeah, and we had these outside, I don't know what they were, but trying to teach us safe sex and how to put a condom on, and they literally had this like stand thing, and they were trying to demonstrate putting a condom on, and we were just all looking at each other going, that's not what it... And everybody walked out, and we're all nodding, going, yeah, we understand. Everybody walked out of the classroom going, did you know what they're going to do in there?
I must have wagged that day, because I don't remember ever doing that.
It was more awkward for boys and girls in the same room.
I can imagine.
Oh, God, yeah.
But RE was the worst for us. We didn't understand. I suppose now we're closer to all sorts of societies, religions and beliefs and in the world, so maybe it would be more beneficial to us now. I'm getting a clock watch from the teacher here next to me. Like, yeah, bore off.
Mrs. Griffiths.
Yeah, Mrs. You would be the funniest teacher, because if we forgot our homework, you'd forget that you gave it to us. We'd get one.
So I wouldn't be the hot teacher.
You'd be the hot one, but we wouldn't learn anything. So yeah. Go on,
my favourite subject was art. I loved art.
Yeah.
I would go after school. I would be there any hour that my lunch hour. Yeah.
What a geek.
I know. I loved it though.
Art nerds, aren't we?
Yeah, both of us are.
You either get it or you don't.
Yeah, exactly, girl.
I couldn't draw to save my life. My teacher told me not to bother picking it. But, I loved PE. Our school, I was quite fortunate. Our school had a swimming pool. We had 4 tennis courts, a massive field. We had indoor cricket nets, basketball courts, gym.
Jeez.
So,
all right, snob.
No, we were just really fortunate, so that if you liked PE and liked sport, there was plenty of it, and you could really enjoy it and play it properly rather than just like rounders or something.
We had a field.
Mm-hmm.
Just the one field.
I used to hate PE though, having to get
it was
changed
green
in front of everyone.
Oh, that was the worst. And did you have to take a shower after PE?
No, we did have showers, but we used to
No one
get
ever
changed in the showers.
Yeah.
But no one turned them on.
It was the worst thing, being a girl, having to shower in front of circa 30 people,
Yeah, but
who would ever want to do that?
We had to do the same as boys.
It's just horrible.
Yeah, and then as boys, it was cold shower. The shower's always cold. So if you play rugby, boys want to get muddy, right? And then you go in the shower, and then when you get out, the towel was a whip.
Oh.
So
yeah.
and you soon learn, get in the shower early and get out early. So,
in and out.
You could either be the whipper or just get out and, yeah.
Did you do cross country at school?
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Cross country run. So, it was brilliant for us.
It's basically a 3-4 mile run in the cold, wet.
We loved
horrendous.
it. So, as I keep mentioning, all boys school, we had this wooded area between us and the girls' school. And cross country is where we did the run in this wooded area. And so be it, whatever, I don't know how the teachers arranged this, the girls at the same year used to do cross country on the same day. I was last quite often, but then I was fat. Or I might have taken a shortcut and then you just go in the woods and we all have a chat and a giggle and then...
So you're doing cross country and mid-course you just stop with the girls in the woods, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Obviously, Mo Farah, I am not, but I didn't mind cross country as a bit of a giggle for us. Teachers. So we said that Lucy fancied a teacher. You fancied his daughter's teacher. Did you fancy a teacher, Kerry? Or was it just your daughter's teacher you fancied?
I didn't really fancy a teacher at school. There was a teacher who was okay, that all the girls liked. Mr. Griffin, he was the PE teacher.
Griffin and Griffiths don't work, does it?
No.
What about a teacher
But
who's
weren't
scared
really
off?
my type.
What about a teacher who's scared off?
There was a lot in my school.
RRE teacher. Yeah, she was a psycho. Yeah.
I had this weird experience with our head teacher. So remember, I went to school in London, Mr. McCarthy. He was an ex-rugby player. And I moved to Northampton and I went to, embarrassingly, a Tesco cafe after shopping one time and he was in front of me in Northampton and I went, Pat McCarthy. And he looked at me as if, what? Even then I was an adult looking at him. I went, I used to go to Eaglesfield, you was my teacher. He went, and then he was fine with me, but even then I remember wanting to call him sir.
Yeah.
And I've seen him at school.
I've never bumped into a teacher after school. No.
Really?
Yeah.
I bumped into a lot of them. So,
Have you?
you know the new gym that's attached to the school?
Yeah.
When that was built, I used to go there regularly. Most of the teachers, especially the PE teachers, would be in there. Seeing a teacher in gym clothes is wrong. It's just really wrong. On the treadmill, no, it's awful. I couldn't look at them the same.
I went to Switzerland twice with the school and seeing teachers out and about. I was 14. We went to the bar, and in Switzerland you can drink at that age. Obviously, our school told us we couldn't. Had a few beers, had a bottle of Heineken in my, and went out and we see Mr. Holdroyd and Mr. Smirk, and we tried to put our beers behind our back, and they went, "What you got there?" And we went, "Nothing, sir." He went, what you got? I picked it up, showed him, and he went, thank you very much, and swigged it and walked on. And those teachers got drunk every night. It was
just
brilliant.
don't look